All right. I'm not a chef. I haven't made anything fancy in my whole life. We're just gonna see. We're gonna see if I can follow a recipe and make a really good, authentic paella. Paella is the national dish of Spain. It looks really complicated, but it looks really good. I've never made anything even close to this level um, of complexity. We're gonna just try it and see how it looks. So first, we want to prepare all the ingredients. It looks like this paella calls for Spanish rice, which we don't have, but we can make that using white rice. I put on some white rice earlier. We're just going to go ahead and make that. So I have a recipe written down. It looks like we need 2 cups of Spanish rice. So we're going to have to make that using the white rice that I put on. Okay, so I have our rice. We want olive oil. We want olive oil, butter. I think like fresh tomatoes are being used for both, so we have those. Um, I just went shopping for these ingredients, and even that took hours. So I feel like when they said this would only take an hour and a half, they were lying. It's gonna take me way longer, as I've never really done this before. Um, okay, so we have, I guess, some spices. Parsley flakes, I guess. Mm, oregano. Uh, okay, we don't have garlic salt, so we're just gonna skip out on that. And then we don't have tomato sauce, so we'll just use more fresh tomatoes. Chicken broth, butter, oil. Okay, so chicken broth. We're doubling everything in this Spanish rice recipe to get the amount that we need. 2 cups of chicken broth right here for the rice. I'm going to keep this here because we're going to need a lot more of it later. Check back in probably like an hour, honestly, with how slow I am. Okay, we have our olive oil. Luckily, we got the tablespoon right here. So we need 2 tablespoons of that. I've never measured my olive oil before. I used to just, this is the first time I've done that. I always just dump it in for when I'm making eggs or whatever simple thing I'm making. This is following these measurements is completely new for me. Let's see. Got also 2 tablespoons of butter. That is a healthy amount of butter. Let's see. All right, that's about 2 right there. We need to melt that. Okay, so we're going to melt this butter. Then we're going to put the rice in after the butter's melted. What else do we need? For now, we'll start working with the tomatoes. I really like tomatoes. Let's see. All right. We're going to start working with our tomatoes. I really like tomatoes. I've been a big fan of tomatoes ever since I was little. The Chinese national dish is actually tomatoes and eggs. That is just literally 2 ingredients. You can use ketchup if you want and like spring onions if you want. That is literally just 2 ingredients. It is so much easier than this paella. That's been one of my favorite dishes since childhood. Um, I don't know why it's the national dish. Maybe it's because it's like red and yellow, like the Chinese flag. But my dad says it's because tomatoes. Oh, I completely forgot the technique for dicing tomatoes. Well, we'll do the next one. Um, Now I'm just like doing useless knife cuts. Uh, but anyways, my dad says it's because that tomato and egg dish has been around for a long time and it's pretty much everywhere in China. Either way, I really like tomatoes because of that dish mainly. Also because tomatoes are really good in like salsa and like pizza sauce and a bunch of like stuff that I would go out and get, but I've never actually like made these things for myself. My mom's got pickleball on in the background. She's like obsessed with that. I also played pickleball much better in that kitchen than this one, but we're gonna work through it today. Try to make this paella something that I would actually eat at a restaurant, hopefully. That's the goal here. So while dicing these tomatoes, the butter is almost melted, and So that when that butter melts, I'm gonna put the rice in there, let it cook for a couple minutes, and then after the rice is a little bit toasted, I'm gonna then uh put all the chicken broth and some spices in there and just leave that alone. I do need to get the tomatoes ready for that time though, to be prepared. We need a fourth cup of dried tomatoes. I don't know how much a fourth of a cup is, so we're gonna go ahead and try to measure that out. So a fourth of a cup. Okay, that's a fourth of a cup. So not a lot of tomatoes at all. I think we actually have just chopped up enough already, just based on that. Because if we're substituting another cup of tomatoes instead of tomato sauce, then we basically have chopped up enough. I guess because we're using double, I should chop up one more. We need to double everything. That butter has been melted, so it is time to get the rice in. Oh, that is hot. Alright. We got some rice. This is gonna go for about 2 or 3 minutes in this melted butter and olive oil. We're waiting for that rice to get toasted, basically. Okay. Um, as we are in the process of trying to dice another tomato, I should probably move the recipe book to the side and like have the cutting board a little closer. That'd be smart, probably. Just make sure. Okay. That rice sounds like it's a little bit crispy, so we're gonna actually. I wonder if that's a problem, like because my rice was already cooked in the rice cooker. It's not like it wasn't like raw rice. If that is like an issue at all, something I didn't consider, but now I'm realizing. Anyway, doesn't matter. We'll just proceed ignorantly. So I need tomato. Guys, you're never gonna see an actual chef, by the way, having these type of like beginner level considerations, I suppose. Like an actual chef will be like actually talented and like know what to do and stuff. We're gonna see a far from mistake-free paella here today. Anyways, that rice looks about toasted, so we need to stir in. I'm gonna drop the heat off for now. We just stir in this chicken broth, all the tomatoes, and I'm not using tomato sauce. I'm using just like the like fresh tomatoes. We're gonna need the oregano. I kind of get the idea of what a fourth cup is. So that's probably good. And then we'll add in the other 1/4 teaspoon right there. And we also need, it says, garlic salt. So we'll just use regular salt, I guess. And then the diced tomatoes right here. And then we're going to use regular salt. So we need about a 1/2 teaspoon of that. Not that much salt. And now we need to stir it in. This is honestly going to be more tomato than rice because there's so much liquid with the chicken broth and the tomato and stuff. It's just going to be rice swimming in liquid. Um, Now we're gonna blast the heat on high and bring this to a boil, basically. So we need that to be really, really hot. After it's really hot, then we need to put a lid on top of it. So I'll get that ready. So we have our lid right here, and then we'll move that heat to low and just leave it for like 20 minutes or so. And then in the meantime, I need to get all the rest of the stuff ready for the paella. So we're going to need 1/4 of a cup of olive oil. That's a good amount. Just about half of that of olive oil. We're going to need to dice an onion. So we have this onion. We're going to need to dice up the entire onion. That's crazy. All right, so we got the onion right here. We're going to chop out the ends. Try to lay it flat, cut it in half. While I'm dicing the onions, I'm gonna watch that Spanish rice, see if it looks like it's boiling. I do not have a thermometer, so I have no idea. We're gonna see if that looks like it's boiling, and when it does, I'm gonna drop the heat off and put the lid on. Here we have absolutely terrible knife technique, 0 out of 10. Like I said, I'm not a chef. I have like 0 cooking experience besides like stuff that has fewer than 4 ingredients. And cooking for me is just hacking stuff together. So when we have an actual recipe like this, it's my first time ever doing something like this. But we need to dice up an entire onion, which means the other half of the onion as well. I'm going to check on that rice. We're going to go with the lid, and we're going to drop the heat off to low. Now we're going to deal with the rest of this onion. Okay, so there's our entire onion. This yellow onion, diced up. But this is far from over. Just the prep is far from over. So this entire yellow onion, we've got the olive oil. Okay, this is what a diced up yellow onion looks like. I didn't really dice it very finely, but that's because of poor technique. Then we have a bell pepper. I can get one of those. Bell pepper. That onion's still making me cry. We're almost done with the bell pepper at this point. Which, by the way, like, over a minute to dice up a bell pepper is absolutely ridiculously slow. Good thing I'm not a chef. Alright, there's the bell pepper. Here's our diced up bell pepper. Okay. 4 cloves of garlic. I never know why they have these like white filmy things like the garlic and onion. Why do these aromatics have this white film? If anyone knows, let me know. All right. Now we gotta take Roma tomatoes. So now we need 3 Roma tomatoes, and we need to dice these as well. So even more diced tomatoes. Guys, this recipe calls for a lot of tomatoes, and I'm here for it. I love tomatoes. But strangely, I don't like ketchup for some reason. That's where it gets interesting. Like, why don't I like ketchup? I just feel like it has more of like a syrupy like texture, and it's like off-putting. A lot of the ketchups use like corn syrup or something, and I just don't like that. But I like salsa. I like marinara sauce. I like whatever the sauce they put on pizzas is. I like fresh tomatoes. It's not ketchup for some reason, but luckily for me, this recipe isn't using ketchup at all. This calls for a very fine dice, which with my knife skills, I'm sure I won't be able to achieve. So we're going to do our best. It also calls for 3 of them, so that's going to be very slow. I'm not really sure what the difference between Roma tomatoes and like the other vine tomatoes that I use for the Spanish rice are. I just know that I have made guac before, and Roma tomatoes are very good with that. But I've never actually like ate a Roma tomato by itself and tried to figure out what the difference was. I really like bell peppers too. When I was really little, my dad made this really cool dish with it was just two ingredients, the type of cooking that my family and I like. But my dad would do this like bell pepper and pork dish, and somehow every time I liked to eat that a lot. When I was little, I was actually a really picky eater. Now I'll eat like pretty much anything as long as it's not super bitter or spicy. I like a lot of things now, but when I was little, I was a really picky eater actually, and I couldn't really eat anything. But this bell pepper and pork dish that my dad made, I always liked it. I never had a problem with that. So I've also really liked bell pepper since I was young. So tomatoes and bell pepper, which are basically like two of my favorite vegetables being used in this paella, I cannot complain. Cannot complain at all. As we dice these tomatoes up. So straight up, like it said, fine dice. I cannot do that with my knife skills, so the dice is not very fine. The dice is probably about like salsa, like pico de gallo consistency, about that level of like dice. It's not like very fine, but we're just gonna have to deal with it. We're just gonna have to deal with it. That's what I always say in the kitchen because the stuff that I make is never really that good. I just think if the ingredients are good, then the stuff can't be that bad. So we have the bay leaf. I don't know how much bay leaf we need, but we have just bay leaf. That's what it says. So we have bay leaf. We also have saffron. This stuff, I've never had it before. Apparently, it takes like 75,000 flowers just to produce a pound of this, which is ridiculous. I only bought like 1 gram for maybe like $5 or $6. This stuff is ridiculously expensive, but apparently it's really important in this, so we're gonna use it. Then we have the paprika, the saffron. We actually need a quarter of a cup of white wine. So I got this white wine today. Apparently, we need a quarter of a cup of this. So there's that. You want some wine? All right. So now we got to get to like the protein. So we have these like chicken thighs right here, and I'm probably gonna want to cut that up. And yeah, we gotta cut those into pieces, so that's gonna take a little bit. Do I have any more vegetables to cut before I do this? We don't have, I mean, yeah. Let's just work on the proteins now. So, a whole bunch of boneless chicken thighs cut up into pieces. A bunch of the juices are getting dumped out here. I probably should have thought this through more. So we have a whole bunch of these like boneless chicken thighs. We're gonna need to cut those into pieces. Before I cut this into pieces, I'm gonna just check on the Spanish rice real quick. Um,
The Greeks carved statues out of an idea. Flawless human form.
what do we think about this Spanish rice? I've removed it from the heat. The bottom looks like super toasted. I probably should have been stirring it. So whatever. What do we think about this? Obviously, there's too many like fresh tomatoes. It would have been like tomato sauce instead of these like fresh tomato chunks. We're just gonna leave that off to the side. The bottom looks a little bit toasty, not gonna lie. So probably the fact that I'll use already cooked rice and cooked it some more probably wasn't the best idea. Beginner mistakes. Anyways, like I always say, we gotta deal with it. So now we've got some chicken. Boneless chicken thighs. We just need to cut these up into pieces because that's what it says. It makes sense. Like, we're not just gonna be like slapping the whole thing into the pan. It makes sense to cut it up. So we have so much work to do with these chicken thighs. I've never been used to like having to do this amount of prep in the kitchen. Keep in mind, like, we haven't even started cooking yet, technically. This is all like ingredient preparation. I'm not even on step one of like the recipe. This is all just like putting stuff together. Okay. Chicken thigh number one. Chicken thigh number one. Chicken thighs 2 and 3 coming up. So we have more chicken thighs coming through. Absolutely. Absolutely crazy amount of food in this prep stage here, but I want to make something cool, and I guess this is what it takes. And professional chefs and stuff just get really good at doing this stuff fast and well, and knowing how to do it all. They're also the ones who come up with the recipes. They're not following them. Anyways, the goal isn't to be a professional chef, but if I can follow a recipe and just like be really like, you know, good at making this stuff, that'll be a huge benefit. Also, there's the people who do like the cooking shows and they're like charismatic and they're like talking to the camera and stuff and like telling stories while they're cooking because they can cook in their sleep. You guys, that is not me. I'm not gonna be like saying anything because just like doing beginner stuff in the kitchen is so hard for me. Okay, this is chicken thigh number 2. We only even have 3, so we're definitely not going to get the 4 that the recipe asks for, but like I always say, gotta deal with it. We will soon, and by soon I mean probably in 10 minutes, have the 3rd one. There's no way it takes an average person 10 minutes to cut up a chicken thigh, but here we are. I'm honestly super grateful to even be able to have chicken thighs and do stuff like this on a random Sunday. Oh my gosh. All of it has fallen into the sink. That's not good. Whatever. Got to deal with it. So here is chicken thigh number 3. And guys, we're almost there. Not really. There's still clams, mussels, like the saffron, different spices, a bunch of stuff that I got to deal with. I think the spices here are just saffron and bay leaves. It doesn't seem like there's too much. I bought a bunch of random spices. It doesn't seem like there's too much. So we're gonna go ahead and deal with this. We have just an unbelievable amount of chicken that's going into this paella, but I suppose that is one of the main ingredients along with the rice, vegetables, and saffron. The seafood is just extra stuff. I like seafood. I think, calamari is cool, mussels are cool. I don't really eat mussels ever. This was an excuse for me to go to the Wild Fork and get some. Okay, chicken thigh number 3. And that's the last one because we don't have a 4th one. Okay. We need a quarter cup right here of that parsley. We don't have like the fresh ones, so we'll just use a fourth of a cup. That is a lot. I'm not even sure. Okay, now we could get a fourth of a. Yo, that is a healthy. That is a lot of parsley. I don't think I've ever used that much parsley at once. That is a copious amount of parsley leaves right here, or parsley flakes, because we don't have the fresh one, unfortunately. That is a lot. Okay, the 2 cups of Spanish rice, we got that over there. 5 cups of chicken broth. Yeah, we're gonna need another bowl for this. 5 cups of chicken broth. Here's the chicken broth. So we got one, right here, two, and a half is so we'd have another one, two, and a half cups of chicken broth. This is what 5 cups of chicken broth looks like, guys. That is a lot of chicken broth. Okay, so now we need a half pound of jumbo shrimp and a half pound of mussels. So this is just, guys, this is an unbelievable amount of food in the preparation stage. We need half a pound, so that's like half of this bag. How much is this bag? There's 26 mussels, so half of this bag is gonna be 13 mussels. Thirteen will freeze the rest of these. So guys, this is 13 mussels right here, about half a pound. And then we need half a pound of calamari rings. We're almost running out of bowls over here. This is crazy. Need half a pound of calamari rings too. That's ridiculous. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. So cutting this up, I really like calamari, so I really hope this is worth it. I was able to go into Wild Fork today and get this after I had gotten a bunch of a copious amount of other things. That is about half of a pound when I take all of this stuff. This is all frozen right here. I'm not sure if that's what it's supposed to be like, but we have now finally everything. Oh, we need a half pound of jumbo shrimp. That's about 12. If this is 3 pounds, then a half pound would be like about 1/6 of the. Here's we need. We'll say about 10 of these jumbo shrimps. Let's throw in an 11th in there. And then we freeze up the jumbo shrimp as well. So we just have like I think we need to peel these off. So yeah, so we gotta peel jumbo shrimps. This is not something I've done before. I never really cook with shrimp. My mom doesn't really like shrimp, so I've just never really been eating it ever. But we need to peel them. They have this little film layer. We gotta peel them off, but I think leave the tails on, if I remember correctly. Anyways, that's one. But let's do it like this. We'll dump them onto the cutting board, and then after it's peeled, I'll put it into the bowl. What is a good way to peel these off? I guess we'll just find out as I go. Two, we need to peel off 9 more. So while we're doing this, yeah, my story with shrimp is that my mom actually doesn't like shrimp. She likes a lot of seafood. She doesn't eat any land meat, but she eats seafood and stuff. But my mom just doesn't really like shrimp. So as a result, we've just never really like ate. I've never really like eaten a lot of shrimp. Um, the only time I've eaten shrimp is like a couple times when I was at like Panda Express and I got honey walnut shrimp, but that's like not like a real shrimp dish, you know? It's kind of, it's not even like Chinese food, honey walnut shrimp. It's just like kind of whatever. I will say it doesn't taste bad, but here we're using this jumbo like white shrimp, and I don't really know how it's gonna turn out with me trying to peel these shrimp by myself. That's pickleball in the background. Like I've said, my mom is watching that. Even my dad is watching it now because there's nothing else for him to watch, I guess. Um, my dad doesn't even play pickleball; he runs, so he has to suffer through my mom and I talking about it all the time. I only played pickleball because my mom got into it, and then she got me into it, and then it's really fun. How's the vacation, mom? It's good. Because we're about halfway through peeling this shrimp. Look at this. I mean, this is a ridiculous amount of preparation work. I just like I'm afraid that I'll like mess up and like spill all of this or some of it. And this is like a lot of stuff. All I'm saying is like after the end result, this better be really good because I'm saying I haven't really even seen a restaurant that serves paella, much less like made it myself. But this is something that I want to do like over Thanksgiving break when my cousins are in town, so that's why I'm practicing this. There's no way I would just make this on like a regular day. But if I can make this dish for my family, then that would be really cool. We'll see if it is even good. Imagine like that would be such a troll if we have all of these really good ingredients and then somehow I like tried to follow a recipe that 2,000 people have said was really good, and then ended up just being really bad because I messed it up that badly. Something that like that could happen. Something like that could. Oh, that was a clean peel. Didn't really have that before. Most of these peels that are so bad that I bet there's still some like skin just like on some of these shrimps because I have no idea what I'm doing. Okay, just our last shrimp right here. All right, so now we have our shrimp. Cool. So what do I need? Now we can move on to this other page where I wrote down the steps. Okay, olive oil to a skillet. So let's get the biggest skillet we can, I guess. Let me see. Oh gosh, my hips are so tight. Let's get this big old skillet right here. Oh, little break. Olive oil. Guys, if you didn't know that people with hips as tight as mine exist, now you know. This is really bad. I've seen corpses with less stiff hips than this. Oh, okay. The olive oil right here to a skillet. Medium heat. Okay. Add. Oh, I guess we gotta chop the garlic then. Or no, it doesn't say that. I feel like I definitely need to peel the garlic, but it doesn't say I need to chop it up. Okay. Oh, that was a clean. So okay, so we have like add the onion. There's the onion. Garlic. I really probably should have chopped that up, but it's whatever. Too late now. And bell peppers. To the pan. All right, so I don't even know if this skillet will fit everything, but here it is, the onion, the garlic right here, the bell peppers. We need to cook this until the onion is translucent. Okay. So I'm pretty sure that means it's like halfway between like transparent and opaque. So like halfway between like you could see through it and you can't see through it, kind of like halfway through. All right, so we just wait. The next thing we're gonna do is add the chopped tomato, bay leaf paprika. So wait, we need this. Bay leaf paprika. Wait, paprika. Oh, we need a teaspoon of that. Wait, then what is this? This green one is oh, parsley. Oh, the saffron. Okay. How much, by the way? What does a pinch of saffron mean? I generally have no idea. I just bought a gram. We're obviously not going to use the whole gram. I don't think that qualifies as a pinch. I really don't want to waste this thing, though. I mean, look at this. Is like, oh, that has a really rich smell. That is a pleasant smell, actually. I've never. Wow. The way they're hyping this stuff up, they're hyping it up as if it's like food gold. Like, that smell is something. Take a whiff of this. What do you think? This is the expensive stuff. This is the expensive stuff right here. Take a whiff of that. Smell it. This stuff is like $200 an ounce. I just bought a gram. This stuff, I think, I didn't even look at the receipt. I think this is like $5. I think like they say to produce a pound of this, it takes 75,000 flowers. Because you have to get, like, from each flower, you can only get, like, 3 of these little threads. Oh, that I like that smell, though. That's good. So I guess what we're doing with this right here is building up like a base of flavor, with, I'm assuming, because it's like onions and garlic, that's like really pungent flavors, and the bell pepper, like, I guess we're just building up a flavor base with like the oil, and we're gonna like layer stuff on, and then I guess later on we'll have like all these proteins built on top of this base of flavor, and it's supposed to be like really good, I guess. We'll see. And we got this Spanish rice back here too. Honestly, like, how toasted is, I don't even want to know. How toasted is this? Pretty much the entire bottom layer, but actually, all right, so like the bottom is black because I forgot to stir it, or a little bit of the bottom is black, but I mean, the top of it, like, doesn't look that bad. The top of the Spanish rice doesn't look that bad. I mean, you could see, like, the black stuff here, the burnt stuff that came from the bottom of the pan. But if we ignore that, I mean, this doesn't look that bad, even though I just used like fresh tomatoes instead of like the sauce. At least, like I say, we always got to deal with this. So at least for my standards, this is completely serviceable. We're going to use that in a second. The onions and bell pepper have been going for a little bit. They're starting to like brown up just a little. I don't know when it becomes translucent. I've honestly never seen that. I've seen them become brown, but translucent, I'm not too sure. I'm just gonna assume that I should keep going. I guess after I prepare a little bit of paprika. So we need to add the chopped tomato. Okay. So the chopped tomato. The bay leaf, I don't even know how much bay leaf we need. So I'm gonna improvise. Based on the like size of the bag, 42 servings per container. So I'm gonna assume we don't want that much bay leaf, because if there's 42 servings per container, that has a pleasant smell too. I'm gonna assume that this much is enough. If this bag has 42 servings, I'm gonna assume that we don't need that many bay leaves. This stuff is really inexpensive. Smell this though, it's kind of pleasant too.
啊，这个我有啊，这个香叶。
Smell this. This is kind of pleasant. This is bay leaves. How much do you put? Is this a good amount? Okay. But I'm making a lot of it. I'm gonna assume that this much is enough based on the fact that there's 42 servings in that kit. So, and I dropped one, so whatever. It'll get cooked up. It's just a leaf. So the bay leaves, okay. Paprika, that's gonna be this stuff right here. How much do I need of that anyway? 1 teaspoon. That's like nothing. Apparently, this is just like ground up red bell peppers. I only know that because I have a friend who's like super allergic to bell peppers, and she also said that she can't have this because it's also just bell pepper. I didn't know that. But we're just gonna layer that in. Okay. Cool, cool. And then that's really unfortunate that I didn't like have them all prepared before and just add them at the same time because it's already been cooking for a little bit, so that's kind of cheating. But then we have saffron. This is the really interesting stuff. And it says to just add a pinch. I do not know what a pinch is. I'm gonna go with this much right here. I have never used this before. I have no idea. It's really unfortunate that it kind of just some of it just kind of dropped out. This little thing was like $5. This is like $200 an ounce. It's crazy. Apparently, it's super good though. And then we need salt and pepper. Okay, I know what that is. It doesn't say how much of that to add, but probably some of the only things on this ingredients list that I actually know what it is, because I have no idea what anything else is. How much salt and pepper are we supposed to add? I have no clue. I don't think it said that, the recipe. So we're gonna just give it the old-fashioned spray, and now I have to cook it for 5 minutes while stirring it. It's like 7:19 right now, but some of the ingredients have already been in there for 1 to 2 minutes, so we just have to stir and cook this concoction for about, I guess, like 5 or so minutes, maybe 4 minutes. I'm gonna be real with you, it does smell really good. Even the saffron like kind of comes through a little bit. Just that pinch of saffron, it actually does kind of come through a bit. That stuff is strong. That stuff is strong, you guys. I didn't know what's so hyped about it. Apparently, it's kind of just like caviar in terms of like being hyped up as like a really quality, like premium ingredient. I went to the spice store to go buy saffron because I thought for sure the Indian like store would have like all the spices that I would need. And it had like the spices, it had like most of the spices that I need for this, but I didn't actually find saffron on the shelves. So I asked the guy if they sell any saffron, and he pulled it out from behind the cash register. So I guess they don't want to risk anybody stealing that stuff. I guess it must be that good because the dude was not. They were not taking any chances. The dude, like, it was not in the like cash register. The dude just asked if I wanted 1 gram or 2 grams. I said 1 gram, and then he like pulled it out from behind the cash register. So apparently it must be pretty good. I forgot to salt the rice, I realized, so we're just gonna do that, which because we didn't have garlic rice and I just forgot to sub regular salt in. But we didn't have garlic salt. This is probably not recommended to do, but like whatever. Like, as I've said a bunch of times, you gotta just deal with it. Alright, so we got this like Spanish rice over here off to the side. The main pot is cooking. That saffron and bay leaf smell really good. Really, really good. Probably just give it like one more minute here and then begin the next stage of the operation. So for the next, we need to add the white wine. We got white wine right here. I have never used white wine in my life before, nor have I drank it. Normally, all the wine I've seen is like darker color, right? So I guess they call that like red wine or whatever. I've never seen white wine in my life, so I didn't know when I was at Costco shopping. I didn't know what white wine was. So I looked in the wines and I was like, how do I tell if a wine is white? And then I kept walking, and I saw like a lighter color. And I was like, oh, that's probably what that means. So I just took the first one I saw that had this lighter color. And I read the bottle and it said that it was like a white wine. It had a bunch of like descriptive words. I have no idea what any of that means, but at least I can guarantee that this is a white wine. It's not like dark red or whatever. So we're going to go ahead and add literally just the wine. Literally just the wine. And I guess wine is like pretty strong because we really didn't need that much of it as compared to what's already in here. And we're just going to stir that and now cook that for another 10 minutes. So I guess to describe what we've got going on right now, there's like diced up onions and diced up tomato and bell. Oh yeah, that wine is. I can smell that. Yeah, that wine is good. Among all the alcohols, I think wine is like my favorite. I'm really not an alcohol person, but when I got the chance to go to Portugal with my parents, and like the wine there tastes like good in my opinion. Although I don't know much about it, so among all the alcohols, I think wine is probably like my favorite. Besides, among like the ones that I've tried, uh, so anyways, that's a pretty pleasant smell, the wine. So anyways, to describe this, we've got like onion, garlic, tomato, a little bell pepper base down here. That's what you could see. And there's some liquid. I guess that comes from the juices from like the tomato. And then just now we've added the wine. And then you could see like these big bay leaves. I haven't really like chopped it up at all. I just have like full bay leaves and full pieces of garlic in there. You could smell a little bit of wine. You could smell a little bit of that bay leaf. I can't really smell. I definitely can't see the saffron. I just used a pinch and it's like the same color as the bell pepper and tomato. So that just disappeared the moment I dropped it in. I'm sure maybe you could taste it though. And then we just have, and that I just like accidentally spilled some onto my hand. You guys, this is hot right now. And it smells really good. So we just have to cook this up for 10 minutes and I guess stir occasionally. This, I'm telling you, is, oh, there's the saffron smell. Yeah, I can still smell that. So, this is looking and smelling really good, you guys. It is hot right now. I just felt it unwillingly a minute ago. We're just gonna have to cook this for about 8 more minutes. So that is crazy. Let's just, okay. Let's just, oh yeah, I'm in California, by the way. My mom was just speaking Chinese to me, but in California, there's been like a drought going on for I don't know how long, basically my whole life. But just starting a couple days ago, there was randomly like a rainstorm, and it was like huge. Like driving anywhere was crazy. There's like puddles all over the road. It's like thunderstorming. For some reason, like once or twice every like winter, this just randomly happens in Southern California, and there's like huge rain, and then for the rest of the year, there's like no rain at all. So we're in the middle, or I guess on the tail end, but we're kind of in the middle slash tail end of that like huge rain. So that's why I'm out here trying to cook a paella. That smells so good, by the way. I'm supposed to like taste it a little bit and salt it if it needs salt. I'm scared to taste this. So hot. Guys, I don't think this needs more salt. It looks like I added a good amount of that. I could taste a little bit of that wine. Definitely it has that like brighter like tomato flavor. You could taste like a little bit of tomato and bell pepper. The wine a little bit. I mean, I think it's really good. I think I salted it like just right. I don't think I need any more salt. I just guessed with the salt and it seems like good to me. So I don't think I'm gonna do any more salt. I don't know what saffron tastes like, so I can't even tell you if it's like if it's getting through or not because I don't know what it tastes like. Apparently, it's really important though. Like people are saying, like oh, like everywhere I looked on the paella recipes, people are saying like you cannot skip that. Like the saffron quality is like really important. I can't verify that. Like when I bought the saffron, the dude just pulled the first thing off behind the cash register and gave it to me. I have no idea about the saffron quality here, much less what saffron is supposed to taste like. I just got exposed to the smell for the first time, and that was really good. Also, the only reason I bought it there is because I trust these guys. It's like these guys have like a little restaurant where they serve just like vegan, like vegetarian dishes, and then at the same time, like they have like a supermarket type of thing going on. So it's like a restaurant slash like 7-Eleven hybrid, except it's not a 7-Eleven. It's like spices and like more like unique like Indian stuff. So I bought the saffron from them only because I feel like I trust them because the food was actually like really good the one time I went. And they seem to certainly have a plethora of unique spices that I've never seen or heard of before. I was also looking for some like Moroccan spices, like, and they didn't actually have a ton of those, but they do. They had all the spices I needed for this, at least. So it's been, oh, I don't know, maybe like another 4 minutes. We need to cook this down. This, I mean, that was pretty pleasant tasting though. It's pretty like, it's still like kind of bright, like it's still kind of like a bright taste. Like you can definitely taste that tomato and bell pepper, but it doesn't feel like acidic. It doesn't feel like I'm like eating a tomato. And it definitely feels like I think I got like it salty enough, so I'm just gonna go with my first instinct and not like add any more salt to this. How happy is it? I'll show you. This is what it looks like. Like maybe or is this a good angle? Yeah, maybe 3 or 4 more minutes of cooking this. Yeah, that is wow. I'm absolutely loving the color I see here too. The onion is like a little bit yellow, like not like bright yellow, but a little bit like of that sort of like I want to say like yellowish gray. And then you've got the red slash orange from the tomato and bell pepper. It's not like bright, like none of the colors pop, but it's just like a nice like orange that kind of fades in with the onion color almost, and you have the apparent green from the bay leaves. Really nice color. Really nice color. The steam is coming up from it. It tells me it is hot right now. It's a little steamy just standing here. Um, Guys, the most amount of food prep I've ever done before is like working the line at Chipotle and like making chips when like it was opening. So this level of like preparation right here is just like magnitudes higher than what I've ever been exposed to. And all I'm saying is these ingredients look good, so unless I mess up majorly, like I'm hoping I don't mess up majorly. Like this better be good for all this effort. This stream has been like well over an hour, I guess. So what do we have to do? What do we have to do next? Is adding the chicken pieces. So you have to add these like I have three big bowls of chicken pieces. We need to add all of that. The parsley and the rice, and only 1 minute. That is a lightning round. That is. We're gonna start a lightning round now. So all the chicken pieces. All the chicken pieces. This is now the stuff, the content of food in this pan has become absolutely huge. I don't think I'll be able to lift it anymore. Then we have all of our parsley. I guess that's why we needed so much, because the amount of chicken in here is just huge. So we added all of the parsley, 2 full, like a whole quarter cup. That is a lot. You guys, this is a healthy amount of parsley. Then we add in the rice. So the Spanish rice that we had off to the side. We do all the rice. We cook this for 1 minute. It's already been like 30 seconds. We cooked this for 1 minute, so it is 7:35. At 7:36, we're gonna move on to the next step. The other like Spanish rice that's been stuck to the pan, we just gotta leave that there. I hope I have enough. I wish I could show you this, but this seemed like a kind of crucial time in the operation. We now need to pour all the broths. We have all of this broth slowly around the pan. We need to. Are we even gonna be able to fit all this stuff? This is like not a normal amount of food. This is a ton of food. This is just an absolutely ridiculous amount of food. And then from here, it says from now on, we are not going to stir the pan. So we just need to jiggle the pan. How am I going to jiggle the pan? It's so like heavy. We're jiggling the pan a little bit, okay, to try to get all the rice to be even. That's not going to happen. I'll cheat a little bit. Okay. So from now on, we are hands off. We're not stirring the pan. That's really hard for me. I've been fidgety. I'm always super fidgety. I've been super fidgety my whole life. Like when I'm sitting, I'll always just do like a little toe tap or like, something. Like when I play pickleball, I'm always like flipping the paddle like in my head. I'm super fidgety. So, but we just need to keep our hands off for the rest of the time. Not stir at all starting now. We gotta bring the mixture to a boil. So I guess we need to make it hot. Okay, so at this point, all the ingredients have been assembled, and we are in the final stages. So I am gonna start cleaning up a little bit. So we just have to wait for this to boil. Now it's just a huge waiting game, and we're gonna be like adding shrimp and the mussels and the calamari to it at the end. I don't even know if it's gonna fit, you guys. Like, I don't even want to show you because this is like filled to the brim. I guess I could move the camera. Let me just start cleaning up. Mom, do you want to take a look at what I have going on? This is just absolute. I'll do it starting in the next step. There's going to be a stretch where you have to wait 15 to 18 minutes, and during that time, I'll get you an avocado toast, okay? So this Spanish rice pan, I will probably want to clean it off just because I might use it for something starting like now, pretty much. Ooh, that's going to be interesting. I might keep this here. That's going to be so interesting. Spanish rice flavored avocado toast. That's so funny. I need the like mixture to be boiling. All right. So my mom is hungry. That's what she was telling me in Chinese, and she's been hungry for a while. I have my mom on timeout over there in her little corner by the couch because when my mom is hungry, she gets a little bit cranky. I have her on timeout. While this is just a waiting game now for the paella, I'm gonna make her an avocado toast, which I think is really good and also really easy. So we have a quick avocado toast intermission while we're waiting for this paella to boil. I do have to watch the paella though. So avocado toast. 2 avocados is already like so much. I need like a more like black avocado, like a sort of a little more ripe. But oh gosh, yeah, that is almost overripe. Okay, avocado. 2 avocados makes a ton of avocado toast. We're just gonna use this one. It's gonna be enough for my mom. So for the avocado, here, knife in. We find the pit. Move the avocado. So I'm moving the avocado like this. My knife is stationary. Okay, now I've got all the way around, right? So we have the pit right here. I'm gonna stick the knife into the pit, rotate the avocado, and then the pit just like becomes really easy to remove after that. Um, I kind of messed up, but still the pit just like should like slide right out. I kind of messed up a little bit, and then what we can do is take the spoon, shovel that avocado out. Okay, that mixture is almost boiling. Almost. This amount of avocado should be good for the toast. I'm going to tend to the paella first before I do the rest of this avocado toast. Okay, so that paella looks like it's like at a boil. We're not stirring it. We're bringing this to like a medium-low heat, okay? So this is now like a medium-low heat, okay? It was like boiling. At least there's like little like air bubbles, which hopefully, and it's like steaming. So I think that means it's boiling. I don't know the difference between a boil and a simmer. It really doesn't matter. Actually, it probably does, but I'm not a chef, so in my book, it doesn't. Okay, so we have this like now back to the avocado toast because I have to wait 15 to 18 minutes. It is 7:44, around 8 o'clock. Guys, we've been starting this like probably at like 6, I want to say, almost. I've been starting this at like 6 p.m. You guys, it's been almost 2 hours. Now you got the avocado toast right here. So avocado. We're gonna end up mashing this into like a spread. But first, so I have a tomato. I'm gonna use aroma tomato instead. I feel like that. I always see that with like guac and avocado toast, and I used Roma tomato the last couple times. It was good. I don't need that much. A little bit goes a long way with avocado toast. I was inspired to make avocado toast at home because before one of my mom's pickleball tournaments, we were eating breakfast at this place that she likes, and she got an avocado toast there one time because it just like it's just like has vegetables, and my mom doesn't like meat. She doesn't like to eat like too much food, and I was like, that doesn't even look that like hard to make, and I feel like I could do it better. And it was like $18. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to make this at home, and I did it. And I think my mom likes my avocado toast most of the time that I do it. So we're gonna see if I can have the same success here. We're now gonna cut up a tomato because the avocado toast, like, it's really not that much food. It's like an avocado and like a Roma tomato and like a little bit of a cucumber. That's what I like to use. Goes a long way, and like a couple pieces of sourdough. That goes a long way. And apparently at a restaurant you could charge $18 for it. And my mom says the one that I make is better. So yeah, that inspired me to make avocado toast. It is nothing like this paella. This avocado toast is gonna be done before 8. I'm calling it before 8 p.m. when we have to get this paella out. This avocado toast will be donezo. Even with my poor knife skills, even with all of that, I will still be done with it before 8. I'm calling that. Because literally we just have to like and it's fast, so like my mom, I won't have to put my mom in time, or not time I won't have to put my mom on vacation in the corner for much longer. Guys, look, this diced tomato. We don't have good knife skills, but like, who cares? It doesn't matter. We don't have good knife skills. Deal with it. All right, look. So here we have lemons. And why do I have lemons? Because it's going to be useful for both the avocado toast and for the paella. The lemon is just there to garnish the paella, but for the avocado toast, like, just squeezing a little bit of like the lemon goes a long way with the flavor I've found. You can also use lime. I prefer like lime for guac and lemon for avocado toast. And the paella recipe says to use lemon. And then we're just going to take a little bit of a cucumber, if I can find one of those. If I can find a nice, cool cucumber, that would be pretty cool. Couple slices of this sourdough right here. So the sourdough, we are going to go in the back with that. In the back with that pan. Oh, let me tend to the fridge first. Unfortunately, I know we have cucumbers somewhere in here, but I bought so much stuff today that I can't seem to find it. That's okay. It'll appear. Just okay, a little bit of olive oil. Right now, we still have our butter somewhere all the way from back when we made that Spanish rice, and the reason I kept that out is because this avocado toast is gonna use a little bit of butter to toast the bread. So let's try to find some of that. Okay. Oh, there's the butter. Yeah, just a little bit of butter will go a long way. This is probably like so unsanitary the way I'm doing things, but you just gotta deal with it. Here's the butter. I don't even know like if my mic has power or not. I kind of like use the mic for pickleball lessons, but yeah, we're just gonna put the bread in. And so we have our sourdough set up like that, but in the Spanish rice pan. You guys, let me bring this camera over here though. Here we have the bread for the avocado toast in the same pan that we made the Spanish rice with. But this is the good stuff right here. Look at that mixture. Are we even going to be able to add the seafood in here? I don't know if it'll fit. It is like up to the brim, you guys. This is crazy. I've never made anything like this in my life. It honestly looks so good. We have this like bread that's toasting for avocado toast. That's easy to make. Yeah, I don't know. I just want to bring that camera over because that pan is too big. I cannot bring it over here. Does the mic still have power? It does. I use the tripod for filming like pickleball games and pickleball lessons, and I have these mics now that I can use. So that bread, while that bread is toasting up, I need to get some cucumber and I need to chop a little bit of garlic, and that's it. The most challenging thing about this avocado toast will be trying to find the cucumber amidst this sea of stuff. Will we find the cucumber? Does the cucumber even exist anymore? Maybe I used it all as a stray bell pepper attacks me. Where did that bell pepper go? That bell pepper just bounced off like a ball and disappeared. Oh, here it is. Huh. I could just use like a bell pepper as a substitute for the cucumber or asparagus. I really like that like flavor, I really like that fresh, cool flavor that the cucumber provides, so I'm not going to give up. And there we go. I've even made this dish before using this exact cucumber, so that's why we have like half of a cucumber randomly. We're not even gonna need this whole half of the cucumber. Just like a quarter is gonna be enough. So alright, so we're gonna take this cucumber, we're gonna just cut it up right here. This is actually so much already. This is gonna be like more than enough. This little bit of cucumber is gonna be more than enough. That paella is working, you guys. That paella is being put to the test. It's like crackling now. You can hear it maybe. Maybe not, but if I put the mic up to it. How are we doing against time? I said that I would have this avocado toast plated up by 8 p.m. I feel like I'm like in Chopped right now, or like a cooking show where they have like the timer running down. But it's got to be like if they have like that's what they call the show, like Worst Cooks in America. I feel like if there's any cooking show I can be on, it's that one, Worst Cooks in America. Because that's what it feels like right now. But you know what? We're just going to deal with it. And hopefully this paella will turn out to be good. And my mom will like the avocado toast. This is a ton of cucumber. That bread has got to be like burned by now. Holy cow. I completely forgot about that. That bread has got to just be like toasted by now. Man. Wait, hold on, let me see. Oh, that's actually not bad. Wait, hold on. That's not even close to toasted because they're bigger slices than I'm used to. Wait, that is not bad at all. Hold on. As long as I can get it unstuck from the pan in one piece. I cannot, but it's probably good enough. Okay. That piece of bread is really sad. It broke off, unfortunately. We just have to wait for this bread to get toasted off, and then we're going to be in business, you guys. Alright, you guys, really unfortunate video cut. Sometime in the middle of that, we got our power cut, but I'm just going to move this camera here. You guys, look at that. Absolutely gorgeous paella going on right now. This looks so good. I just added the seafood. And look, this is filled to the brim. This is the largest pan that we have, and it's barely holding it together, but that looks so good. I have to cook this for another 5 minutes, or I guess it's now 4 minutes. And we're going to serve up this avocado toast for my mom. I don't know how much of the avocado toast, like, I made it, the paella recipe called me to wait for 15 to 18 minutes before adding the seafood in. And while that was happening, my mom said she was hungry, so I took it upon myself to cook up this avocado toast. It's absolutely beautiful with tomato and cucumber on I took this upon myself to make it a little mini game to cook this within the 15 to 18 minutes. I just barely lost that mini game by about a minute because I'm really slow, you guys, unfortunately. I don't know how much of that I was able to get on film because my other phone died while I was filming. So there's just going to be a random cut in this video, but other than that, it'll be completely unedited because I'm way too lazy to edit this, what will be like a 2.5 hour long, almost 3 hour video. Anyways, guys, this is how we take, with all the stuff that my mom likes to eat. I've never tried this before. This is how we take the avocado toast to the next level. It's already, I think, much better than what was being served up at that restaurant, but now we're going to add even more value, guys, with smoked salmon. Wild smoked salmon on top. So this avocado toast has sourdough toasted in butter and olive oil. Then we have the avocado spread. We put garlic on the base of it, and then tomato, cucumber, just a little bit goes a long way, diced up on top. And then, or ace in the hole, something I've never tried before, but it's got to be good. This wild sockeye salmon to top it all off, and a little bit of olive oil. My mom is already like looking over here as I'm describing it. We just got to cut up this lemon, juice it up, and then that 5 minutes like for the shrimp will almost be over. So I have to kind of just like get ready for the next step already, you guys. But look at this. The lemon, just squeezing that lemon on there. That lemon with avocado, you guys, is so good. It's so good. I'm no chef, but I can like personally, I can vouch. I could say that I can eat stuff, even though I'm no chef. You guys, it's hard for me to cook stuff, but I'm telling you, this like citrus flavor with avocado is so good because avocado is like a little bit creamy. You know, it's got like a deeper flavor. It's rich, and when you get that like lemon, just a bright like pop, just kind of cuts through that avocado. So good. So good. I juiced a whole lemon for my mom, which is a little excessive probably, but guys, avocado toast, smoked salmon. Tell me you wouldn't eat this at a restaurant. So we got this right here for you. And now we got to tend to the important thing, the thing that's been taking up my whole afternoon and evening if you count the shopping, this paella. This is pretty much done, you guys. All we have to do, let me see the time. This is pretty much done, you guys. All we have to do is cover it up with a lid. This pan is so big that the lid doesn't even fit. Do we have a larger lid? We might not even have a lid that's big enough to cover it, guys. We don't even have a lid that's big enough to cover this pan fully. But we need to remove this from the heat. We're removing this from the heat. The lid doesn't even fully cover it. So we're only going to partially cover it. The lid is going to be swimming inside a little bit of paella. And we cover it with this kitchen towel and just let it sit there. Guys, the lid is not even big enough. The lid is like swimming in the broth. That's crazy. So another 10 minutes with that. And guys, I mean, my kitchen counter looks like a battlefield, but we're going to slowly clean this up. This is the most ridiculous cooking challenge I've ever done by far. I have major respect for like anyone who works in the food industry, like from like the like I guess lower on the ladder workers, like when I was at Chipotle, people like that who work in fast food or any sort of like chef or cooking. I have a major respect for those people because guys, this type of stuff is not easy to do. My kitchen counter looks like a complete wasteland, and I don't even know if it's gonna be good, although it does look very good. So yeah, we just have to see. How's that avocado toast? Is it good? Does it work for you? Okay, good, good. Is the salmon actually good on there? I just thought I'd try it. At least it makes it more expensive by a lot. And the question is, how am I even gonna serve that paella? Because that is nuts. That is not normal to have that much food in the kitchen. That is gonna be there for probably like a week. Actually, not knowing me, but that is a lot of food. The point still stands, guys. That's not a normal amount of food. That is a ton of food. And also, we just have a ton of like these bowls now because have you thought about it more? I need to know whether to do it or not in the future. The salmon. Okay, okay, okay. Or would you rather if I put like an egg on top? Okay, so my mom is saying sometimes I should do it with salmon on top, and sometimes I should do it with an egg on top, and sometimes I should just do the tomato and cucumber. But my mom really likes this. I think every time I've made it, she's actually like enjoyed it. So we're just gonna keep doing that. It's really easy. I can make that in like 20 minutes, and if I get better at it or I do it more times, then we can cut that time down. It's really quick breakfast and just proving that it's not worth it to just go to a restaurant and get the same thing but like a worse quality for like 20 bucks. I can just make it at home in like 20 minutes and it is really really good. That's the time it would take to like drive. That's the time it would take to wait for the order at a restaurant anyways. So it's not even like the restaurant is like saving time. But guys, this paella, I am so excited to try it. I cannot even believe that I just pulled it off. Um, I've never done anything to this scale. I certainly wouldn't be able to come up with a recipe like this. But just to even follow it was hard enough for a noob like me. This is hopefully like relatable content. Not everybody can just show up and be like a professional chef. Most people, like myself, like we don't really know how to cook. So it's hopefully good to see a live stream of just me making a fool of myself in the kitchen. Or not a live stream, but a video, like an unedited video, basically a live stream. If you guys want to, you guys liked it, make sure you like the video, subscribe, whatever, all of that stuff. No one's probably watching up to this point anyway. But we do have the best part coming up. We have the part where I like taste it. And that's gonna be pretty crazy. I mean, I'm hoping that it tastes really, really good. Yeah, do you think I could take like a quick bite of it? I just need to. No. You should. Mom, I have this huge pot of stuff. I need you to check it out when I serve it. But before I serve it, I do need to actually cut up another lemon to like garnish it at the end. We will need to do that. This saffron, don't want to drop that. Got ground cumin up in here. I don't know why the recipe didn't call for it. Oh, oh, guys, my hips are like so stiff. Holy cow. That was quite the job, quite the job. It's not done though. I need to cut up a lemon. I think I might like drink a little bit of that wine, although I do need to save a quarter cup of it for when I actually make this dish in the real time when it counts Thanksgiving. I'm gonna need to save enough wine for that unless I want to go buy it again. I need to go buy chicken again anyway. It was my first time ever visiting Wild Fork. We bought some lamb shoulder for another recipe I'm trying to make, and we bought the seafood from there because Costco didn't have it. We're gonna just see. We're gonna see how this turns out, because if this is a huge success right now, then I'm gonna be making this over the Thanksgiving break. If it works now. Let's cut the lemon up. And we have these little lemon slices ready. I think if you want a lemon wedge, you cut it in half this way instead. Yeah, this is more like what you see at the restaurants, like this, rather than like this. Cut it more like hot dog style, like this. Once it's like a quarter of a lemon, you cut the quarter into something more like this. This is probably more of like what you would see at a restaurant. Anyways, we have these lemon slices ready. We have just 1 minute until we're serving the paella, and I am so excited. We're taking the thing off. I'll have to clean the floor later too. We're taking the lid off. We're just waiting in anticipation. This paella. Let me bring the camera over actually. Oh my. Look at this. I don't even know if that's what it's supposed to look like. I don't care. That looks so good. All right, it's about time. But first, But first, I'm gonna try that avocado toast that I made for my mom. It was good. It was good. All right. So my mom just like absolutely ate that up. Ate half of it. She doesn't like eat a lot, but she absolutely ate that half up. She doesn't even like carbs. I guess she liked this one. Let's see. Maybe I like toasted the bread too much. It feels like it might split apart. Uh, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay. Mm. Okay. Hmm. Nice and crisp. Nice and crisp with the bread. Mm. That cucumber is really good. Mm. You know what it was? Texturally, like it's a little too soft because I slipped with my hand and put too much olive oil on. The lemon is good, but it's stronger than lime. And as a result, I put too much lemon. With the tomato already there, I think I need to cut the amount of lemon that I put by about half or even more. Uh, my mom really likes the lemon, but I think I'm going to cut the lemon content a little bit. That smoked salmon adds a little bit of saltiness. So next time I'm going to take the salt down just a bit in the avocado spread. But the positives, I think if we didn't make the mistake with the olive oil, really nicely toasted, nice color, nice crunchy texture. We just unfortunately messed up with the olive oil. Mm. That avocado spread really good. Garlic at the base, really good. I've done it better before, but the flavors are all there. I think in the future I'm actually going to ditch a smoked salmon and just put an egg on top. Mm. I like it though. Solid overall. I think that's not bad. That's really good. I just unfortunately messed it up a little this time, but in the past I've made it better, and I promise. I didn't mess up, but I like it the way I made it in previous time. I'm just telling you, a little bit less lemon than I did, way less olive oil because I slipped with my hand. The bread toasted, sourdough toasted with butter and olive oil, perfect. You can taste the butter, and that makes a huge difference. The garlic, after you put on the avocado spread, a little bit of garlic, just one clove, like half a clove on each like slice of bread, perfect. Then the diced tomato and the cucumber, one Roma tomato, and like even a little less than a quarter of a cucumber is already more filling than you need for 2 pieces of bread. If you do like two avocados, one Roma tomato, and like a little bit more than a quarter of a cucumber, that's actually enough filling for 4 slices of sourdough bread. That's like about the perfect ratio I would use. And then I think just a light drizzle of olive oil and then 1 lemon maybe, even a little less across the 4 slices of the sourdough. That's what I would do, and I think it's like perfect. And then just serve it like that, or maybe do like an like over easy egg over the top. That's what I would do with this dish. Baba, you want to try that avocado toast that I made for mom? Also, the paella is ready. Okay, so now we have what I've been waiting for. I've been wanting to do this for weeks, and finally I had the balls to do it. We're gonna serve up this paella, and guys, just like the smell. There's like chicken thigh pieces, there's like shrimp, there's like calamari, there's like Spanish rice, there's like mussels in there, there's like mussels. Oh my gosh. Take a look at this. Take a look at this paella. I mean, we don't have the best angle here. Let's just, guys. We've got the shrimp, the mussels, the calamari in there. There's the chicken thighs, Spanish rice. Look at Baba. You want me to serve you a bowl of this? Look at this. Take a smell of that. I'm gonna serve my dad. My dad came to say the avocado toast was also like pretty good for him, but I think I can do it even better next time. Both the avocado toast and if the paella is good, but definitely the avocado toast, nice and easy breakfast. But if this paella is good, guys, if this paella is good, it's going in. It's going into the Thanksgiving menu if the paella is good. Here it is. All right. I'm going to taste this paella for the first time. I don't even know. We're going to give you a lemon slice in here. Here it is. I don't even know if this is good. Okay. So we have this paella, right? I'm going to mix it up. I haven't stirred it since like step 3 of the recipe. I'm going to stir. Ooh, that is hot. Okay. We get a little bit of chicken. We get let's get the chicken, the rice, and the broth a little bit in one bite. That bite of chicken is excellent. The broth is like perfectly salted. The flavors just somehow come together. Like it's kind of like you're drinking like a really rich soup. Not like thick, but just like rich in flavor. Let's try like the mussel if we scoop that out with the little bit of the chicken. Yeah, the mussel just works. I don't think that shellfish flavor is overpowering. The mussel, like in the broth, works really, really well. I have a little bit of shrimp. You can taste the wine. I still have no idea what saffron tastes like, so I can't tell you about that. Mm. This is so good. Well, try a mussel or a shrimp. It's really good. This is really good. This is going on the Thanksgiving menu. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that my effort like paid off. This is incredible. This is incredible. I don't even know if it's supposed to be liquidy like this, but I don't care. It was absolutely so good. That wine, that like bay leaf, all the spices that go into that chicken broth with the wine, just the perfect flavor. That saffron at least like smelled really good. I'm not sure what it tastes like, but the smell, I could tell that it's there. This paella, I don't even know if I did it correctly, but guys, it's so good. So it turns out a noob like me can write down a recipe and follow it. It took me like darn near 2.5 hours, darn near 3 hours, but I did a nice paella that pan will serve us for so long. And yeah, it was just a lot of fun to make. This was a really fun challenge, and you guys, thank you so much for watching. And if you want to see more of this, just make sure you like and subscribe, I guess, and I'll do more like random cooking challenges. This is a lot of fun to make. Thanks.